Kirby,
Here.
Mr. Lopez,
Here.
Mr. Wright,
Here.
and Mrs. Harrington.
Here. We're going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to item number 2, which is adopting the.
I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
Chuck moves, do you have a second? Do
I second that.
you have a second? Mary, any questions?
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Ms. Harrington.
Yes. Okay, next we have the minutes from the prior meeting. Has everyone had a chance to review these? Any questions? We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 7th, 15th, 28th, and July 12th and 19th respectively for 2022 vice president.
I second. Third.
We have a motion and a second. Mary, please call the vote.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington.
Yes. Okay, moving right along, onto reports and presentations. Dr. Battle, I think we're on to the superintendent's report.
Yes. Thank you very much, governing board and everyone present. Wonderful things have occurred just to get us kick-started as it relates to our school district. We opened the school district with our induction celebration, and we want to thank Dr. Jose Leyva, who did a great job with his motivational speech and talked about his personal story in connecting with students and staff as a former educator. So we want to thank him. Success days at both sites were implemented, and while there were some challenges for sure as it relates to distribution of our laptops and technology, as we had not done that for a few years, we do appreciate the feedback from our families and also the support from all areas to ensure that our students and staff had all of the equipment needed. Our freshman first day as well created a lot of energy and excitement, and it was exciting to see the kiddos come back to school, and also the new staff and existing staff who were really thrilled to be back. And even early July, there are a lot of good things that were happening, and we appreciate that. I tell you, we had great support. Both principals shared in their parent letters and with their staff, the link crew, and what they did to help with the logistics of our beginning of the school year was phenomenal. So the leadership there on both sites, as well as our students, was fantastic. The National Honor Society induction occurred, and wow, that's amazing. A number of schools wait to do that in the spring, but I think it's great that we initiated that at the beginning of the school year, and we congratulate those kiddos and of course the support, the sponsors that provided that training, or excuse me, that ceremony. Investigative science. Mr. Christy Malonzo welcomed freshman investigative science students July 21, 22nd to the new school year with an activity called team building. This year we've really done some strategy specifically to incorporate the support of our kiddos, the teachers, staff, and community. And I think this is an exemplar model of how we want to do that. So I want to thank Miss Christy Alonso for her efforts and work. The Spartans attended the Cardinal Training Camp practice. We want to make sure that we have classrooms that are outside of our classrooms, and we appreciate that support and the leadership that took them there. Meet the Teacher Night was last week. I understand feedback was positive, and again, we appreciate all of those that attended, and of course, teachers for those long days. We thank you so much for your preparation. So Give Me 5 Friday. Wow, that's exciting. So Ms. Cortson, wherever you are, there she is, Public Relations Officer. She interviewed a teacher and posted on social media. It's really important that we recognize many positive assets and experiences, and we appreciate you and your team for your many things that you do for us already. And then newsletters have been published. And again, I want to commend the site administration. We've committed to improve our communication, and I believe that we have a good start. We've got more strategies to deploy. Within that, we have a newsletter for our staff. We got a newsletter for our community. We have a newsletter for the board so that everyone's informed, and I think that's highly important. So with that said, I'm done with my update.
Thank you, Dr. Battle. Moving on to the JROTC program update. Do we have any speaking on those? Yes.
Thank you very much. What I'd like to do is I'd ask the leadership to prepare to come to the microphone. And while they do, Mr. Casey, there you go, you can jump in as well. I'd like to start by saying this, and then they'll be able to, and then I'll close. One is, we appreciate everyone being here, and I say that sincerely. And it's important that you hear us say that, because the JROTC program is not only important to each and every one of you, it is also important to us. So we decided to place it on the agenda based upon communication that has come about, and it provides more information for you to determine where we are, what we want to do, and how valuable our students in the district, but specifically tonight regarding JROTC. So our principals will introduce themselves for those of you that have not met them yet. And then we also have the Executive Director of Human Resources who will also share. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Dr. Battle, Superintendent, board members. So we're grateful to be here in front of you today. I'm Brian Mapp, Principal of Cascade Union High School.
Lance Dancy, Principal, Ms. Brenda.
Sean Casey, Executive Director of Human Resources and Student Services.
We're here before you just to share our commitment and dedication to the JROTC program, an amazing program for our youth, our leadership, and our community. We love the support that they have provided for not only our school sites, but also community-wide. I want to start off with just a quick intro video that we share out to as part of our recruiting for our staff, just to kind of give you an idea of some of the highlights from these programs.
Lieutenant Kirkbride, I'm a junior here at Cascade Union and the incoming CO of the Cascade Union High School Jrotc program.
My name
We'll try that again.
is Raquel Conant. I'm she was part of the table ceremony.
And the incoming CO of the Cascade Union High School Jrotc program.
My name is Raquel Conant. I'm currently a captain in the Jrotc program here, and I'm the executive officer of our company.
I'm Cadet Captain Trevor Hartman. I'm a fourth year cadet. I've been to this program all 4 years.
Well, at its core, it's a leadership class, so no matter what we're doing, whether it's PT, drill, classroom stuff, it's all to build better leaders and better citizens in our community. So our typical week, we start off with a drill at Monday. Tuesday, we'll do a class. Classes range from anything to like heat injuries to just leadership principles, skills, and how to develop those leadership traits and whatever into anything you do in your life.
We train all the cadets that are on drill team and try to get them up to speed so we can march in things like parades and things throughout the year and get into community services so we all know how to drill.
Starting second semester, we usually start out with a 1 month course of marksmanship where we're taught safety, everything, and then we go through the 3 positions of shooting. And then at the end of the month, we qualify. And then you'll get, based on your marksmanship score, you'll get either a marksman, sharpshooter, or expert badge.
I really want to go into the military, hopefully the Marines, and I was yeah, I knew this was for me. I was real gung-ho my freshman year about it too. I never thought I'd have the opportunity I had now to lead and be such a big part of the program that I am now with staff positions, leadership. I just like everyone who came before me really set it up and helped me out, so I had opportunities to do whatever I needed to do.
Actually, I did not want to join Jrotc whenever I had first started high school, but I have a grandpa that was in the Army, and my dad also was pushing for me to go and join, and I really was just kind of going into it pretty pessimistic, but I had joined an Army program in North Carolina, and my first semester in, I just loved the structure of it, and it really turned me from a really shy cadet into someone that wants to speak out a lot, and it gave me a lot of good like public speaking skills and got me out of my shell and not so nervous and timid all the time. And I started getting involved with things like drill team and color guard and PT team, orienteering, and I was just hooked after that. And I started climbing up the ladder and got to be a platoon leader and a class leader, and ever since then I've just stuck with it.
So I've always wanted to join the military ever since I was a little kid, and this kind of seemed like the best thing to get the step up above my peers. And ever since then, I've really enjoyed the program. It's really changed me as a person, kind of made me more of a confident. It gave me a lot of confidence.
I'm working right now on getting into the Naval Academy, and then I'd like to be a pilot there.
I'm trying to go into a program with the Army to become a pilot.
So after graduation, I'm actually going to go off to college, and I'm going to continue the ROTC in college and complete all 4 years, and then I'll actually come out as an officer and go off and be a lawyer in the military.
So again, our commitment to our programs. Sorry about that. I'm sure they have some other great YouTube videos. I don't think I could say it better than our cadets there about just what the program does for our students and for our community. We love JROTC, especially I'll let Mr. Vance speak to Vista, but at Union, they do so much for us. I love watching the leadership happen with our students, the service that they render to the school and to the community. You heard it in the testimonies in the video about the growth that each of us cadets experience. We watch that every year as they continue to magnify and grow. Our program over the years has grown. When I first came in 4 years ago, the program was on probationary status because it wasn't meeting some of the quotas needed by the Marine program for the number of cadets. And since that time, it's starting to really explode. So we're really proud of our advisors and their leadership and support, as well as those that are taking up that initiative to support our country and explore leadership opportunities. It was neat to see that not only does it invest in some of what we might consider traditional military, but you could hear even in the end there as they were talking about military law and discovering other attributes. So there's lots of different ways this program influences our students. It also helps to provide them opportunities in college and universities and scholarships. So we're excited for that.
To add on some of the things that Mr. Mab just talked about, the importance of the programs. One of the biggest things that we had happen last year was our program did a Toys for Tactics drive. And it collected, if you asked me, I wouldn't be able to tell you because they had toys everywhere on campus. So that was one of the things they do. They do a lot of volunteering throughout the community. And one of the major things that they do for us, and I'm sure at Union, is they help with graduation. Our graduation would not be as smooth as it is if it wasn't for the JROTC program. I would like to also talk about some of the things that we've been doing to actively recruit outside or try to get some more leadership in. One of the reasons why we've been behind the 8 ball at Vista is because we weren't informed about our instructors leaving to around June 28th. And at that time, we started having meetings with Dr. Battle and JROTC program at Union to see what type of things we can come up with as far as getting students to go back and forth from each campus. One of the things we did come up with is that if we were to do that, our students would be missing out on a large number of classes, or their 5th and 6th period would be impacted in the minutes in which they need to be able to be in class wouldn't have been what we needed to meet for a lot of state things. Also, in July, we received a list of 235 candidates from our regional director. Now, those 235, probably about 20 to 35 wanted to be in Arizona or somewhere in the Southwest. We contacted 20 to 35. A lot of them at that time were either already employed or looking or staying where they were at, or weren't able to commit due to travel issues. We do have our positions posted on the JROTC instructor website, the national website, and right now we're currently working with one of our science teachers who's a former Air Force member to see what we can do to start an Air Force club as a stopgap. So those students who are looking to be able to do something with the military are still able to do those things and participate doing it in the club at the end of the day.
And moving forward, just so that you know, we just received information this morning of one of our advisors resigning from the program. And so we'll be following suit with Vista in terms of actively pursuing appropriate staffing for both programs, looking at how we can continue to find the right advisors for Vista and how to support both of them, both to be fully staffed again. In the interim, we'll continue to work with our current advisor to make sure that it's fully operational to the best of our capacity. That's our commitment to JROTC. We want to see it succeed. We're proud of our students, proud of the program, proud of those serving. I'll just end that the minute that we knew that some of our staff wasn't signing contracts, I was in the meeting with Mr. Vance, and it wasn't but minutes later that he contacted some of his assistants to be able to reach out to those that we had on that list of prospective advisors from the Marines. And so it's a journey, it's a process. It's not the typical hiring process. It is one that both us as a district as well as the Marines have to agree to, and there have to be certain requirements that are met. But within minutes, they were reaching out to the staff that Mr. Lindsay had expressed earlier.
That's covered pretty much a lot of it. So good evening, everybody. I'm basically here just kind of from an HR standpoint, just to reiterate what Mr. Danzy and Mr. Mapp have indicated. It is a treacherous procedural piece for hiring these folks. And what I mean by that is it's not on our website. You will not find it on a job posting. We do not post anything. It is a matter of dealing with the regional director, who is actually based out in Quantico, Virginia. And we get updates of lists once a month, the newly requested lists. And I know that Mr. Walters, who's the assistant principal of student services at Vista Grande, has been on that list day in, day out, trying to call these people to make sure to see if they are interested in coming to Casa Grande to work within the JROTC program. Our biggest thing from HR standpoint is to make sure that that list is accurate and getting sent all the time. Is to make sure that when we do get someone that we are not going to, from our perspective, vet them like we would with an employee or applicant that's coming our way. The Marine Corps is vetting them. We make sure that all the paperwork is in process, make sure that we are in line with what the military minimum instructor pay is, which is what we revolve around, and that is directed to us by the Marine Corps. We do not select the salary. That is told to us of what we have to hit from a minimal standpoint, and then we proceed from there. So the biggest number is that why isn't things posted on the website? You will not find on this website. It comes from the Marine Corps, and that is the only way it comes from. So Mr. Mabb and Mr. Danzy said it pretty much best, is that we're going to continue working diligently to find replacements at both sites in the needed positions, the needed requirements that meet those positions to move forward with the JROTC program so that they can continue to flourish. That is it. Any questions? Yes.
Approximately how many positions do you need right now to come to your full quota?
At Vista, we need two.
Two.
and union would be one as of today.
But to be clear, and Dr. Val, you can clarify if there's a change, we need one to make sure that we can move forward at Vista with the program, and then we would augment it with the necessary secondary leader at both sites.
Very good. And please stay. I have a couple of things I'd like to do first and foremost. And I'd like to start by this. If you would be so kind, any of you that have served our country, would you please stand and be recognized? I want to thank you. Okay. I want to thank you for serving us and also being here tonight. It's really, really important that our kids hear from us all about how important and valuable they are. So I want to thank you for that. Secondly, some of you may already be standing, and I'm sorry about that. Our students that have been present or past JROTC students, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you very, very much. You know, I've been in education a long time, and I do this job with my heart and soul, and I value each and every one of you. And it saddens us as we spend many hours doing everything that we can to ensure the program continues to flourish. There has been no discussion from the leadership team, the staff, nor the board that we would demolish or get rid of the JROTC program. It's really important that you hear us say that. Has it been reduced? Yes, unfortunately, it has. It's also unfortunate that we have instructors that have left us. It would have been our desire to have maintained the staff that we had. There was no communication of termination or getting rid of anyone. That is really important that you hear us say that. With that said, just a few things I've jotted down. I've had a chance to take a look at our amazing website, and I have seen some talent at the beginning of our board meetings, of our students in the preparation and the banquets, awards, and graduations. Absolutely phenomenal. For anyone to feel as though educators who are here on behalf of kiddos, our positions, our service, to remove such value breaks my heart. And so while that has been communicated, unfortunately, we hope that you hear us this evening, and of course, you are able to take away, utilize, hear, support, or not, but we do have an opportunity tonight for you to hear from us. So as I looked at the website, it states, as you heard from the video and also from our leadership at the site and district, the objective is to teach young adults to become informed and responsible citizens, develop leadership skills, strengthen character, and promote an understanding of basic elements and requirements of national security. Additional objectives are to help students develop self-discipline, confidence, and integrity. Wow. What educator in his or her right mind would not want to support a program that implements and instills the kind of virtues, qualities, and characteristics that we have seen not only in Casa Grande Union High School District, the JROTC program, but around the country. Thank you for that. A few of the things I'd love to make sure we dispel in a very respectful and professional way. and these aren't my words. The JROTC program provides opportunities for students to be a part of the school community group of young, talented students who are focused and passionate about serving and protecting our country, to serve the communities they choose to reside and to serve their families. These amazing students have the opportunity to continue their post-educational goals in college or enter a military branch of their choice. They get to experience a diverse population of people from all over the country, side by side, pursuing lifelong goals, striving to support all of us to have choice, differing opinions, but at the same time, demonstrate respect for one another. As I said, quality characteristics, virtues, and values are created within the hearts and souls of students. So again, why would any district program not value what comes from and developed in a JROTC program? Now, we understand that you've heard from the site leadership this evening and the Human Resources Department. And again, it's more information for us to have for you to discern what you need to know, want to know, and we're here and willing to listen to questions this evening. That's what this opportunity is about, and thank you, Governor, for that. We know that as far as this information you shared already, I'm gonna move on. We will not stop looking for JROTC instructors until we find the quality candidates that our kiddos deserve. As you've heard, the strategies that have been deployed, we're not finished yet. And if there are any of you wonderful veterans in here that are interested, Mr. Casey's right there, we will be glad to connect you with Lieutenant Colonel Caruth, who is our captain, our individual that is supporting our district schools. We need you temporarily, long-term. We want you to help us with this challenge to ensure that we have a program that our kiddos deserve. So as you heard, our JROTC instructors were not terminated. They did not sign their contract. Final word was not in fact until mid-June. Sorry, June 28th. We start school July 18th is when our first day for teachers. So majority of the time were meetings I call, a few myself, to encourage feedback and input from our existing staff. And I'd like to take this opportunity to ask Gunny Flores, would you please stand? Would you please help me recognize him? He has been exceptional. And I want you to know, I can't see over this, but I have to hold my mic. We thank you. We value you. You mean a lot to us. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to know you. And thank you for your support. And I'll just be candid. We ask that you don't leave us. And we hope that you plant us. So thank you. A few other things that I'll move on because we talked about the appropriate guidelines and requirements for JROTC instructor, the JROTC instructor. And we appreciate that. So we're going to honor those guidelines to ensure that we do not reduce our programs anymore. Other things that I think just to diffuse some of the communication that I'm hearing is about in our amazing community. The district and site leadership has been working with the Marines who have given us a list, updated list. We talked today about a few more names that are on that list. I know there are a few of you in this room that have expressed support and possible solutions, so thank you. We want to secure and have budgeted from the beginning 2 instructors at each site. That's our pursuit. We will for sure start with whom we can hire is qualified, but our goal is to maintain 2 instructors at each site. Nothing has changed regarding the budget. I understand that's information that's been going about. This is not a budget decision at all. Never has been a budget decision. Rather than, again, being placed in a situation where we weren't able to compete for quality candidates. We're also aware that some of you are here based on the recent resignation, which is unfortunate. We're really sad about that resignation, as now not only VISTA is impacted. In June 28th, a few weeks before school, and now union is impact August, 2 weeks into school. And unfortunately, that impact is felt by our students. That's not anything that we're happy about. Doing so at this time, again, reduces the program and the wonderful things that wonderful people in this room have participated in, our schools, Toys for Tots, just many community volunteer experiences we have committed to, and we want to continue to commit to those events, activities, volunteer activities, because people are counting on us. So we are going to, for all of the right reasons, ensure the program maintains. Not only are we committed because our kids are involved, but it's an outstanding academic and extracurricular experience. So all the way around, the comprehensive nature of a high-quality school district has been negatively impacted. So a couple of other things that we've heard that's important for you all to know. The JROTC instructors are among the top paid JROTC instructors in the state. That's important to you, my hope is. It is definitely important to us as we created a commitment to that end. Another thing is, as it relates to the agreement that we have with the Marines, yes, we share the cost of 50% of the base salary. That is not equivalent to a first-year teacher salary. It's what the Marines let us know is what we pay, without a doubt. Different districts contract with different military branches. We have contracted with the Marines, and we're glad to do so as it's been a part of the district for many years. And we appreciate the previous leadership who started the program within the last 10 years or so, with Dr. Newsom, 20 years ago. Yeah, so it's been around, and we want to have it continue. Salary is not based upon a new teacher pay, as I said previously. There's a base salary, and then there are stipends and performance pay that are added. I can tell you what's unique about Casa Grande Union High School District is our JROTC instructors have received those additional stipends that exceed what other JROTC instructors may receive around the state. While there have been discussions around that, to date, we have committed to continue that for this year. So I only share that with you to make sure that you know this is not a budget. We have committed to our wonderful and valued instructors. And I think that's something that is really important for you to know. Let me just roll down so we can move forward. I'd like to close with this. I so appreciate your support of the students evident. We'll let you speak momentarily. Thank you. Evident of your presence here tonight. Students, I know you appreciate the support also. I'm sorry you are worrying about the future of the JLTC program. I'm sorry we do not have instructors at this. I'm sorry that we had another resignation this morning. Please know that we'll continue to do everything that we can to acquire instructors, to serve you, and we will do what we can to retain the instructors that we have. Governor Morton, I conclude my statement. Thank you, Joe.
Do you have any questions?
I'd like to make just one comment here. I heard a lot of things from Dr. Battle and all good things, but one thing I think that you need to hear from me as a board member. I don't represent the board members, but I want to say I believe the district dropped the ball on this issue, however slightly, and we apologize. We apologize for any interruption in your students' education in general teaching, and we hope that we can make it up to you. Running a school is a difficult position. It's very difficult to do this in these times. There are challenges, but we're going to make it up to you, and we hope you'll look up to us. Thank you.
We're gonna move on to the call to the public. Mr. Lopez, do you want to read the statement?
Sure. Pursuant to ARS Section 38-431.01H, a public body may make an open call to the public during a public meeting, subject to reasonable time, place, and manner restrictions, to allow individuals to address the public body on any issue within the jurisdiction of the public body. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual members of the public body may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the public body, may ask staff to review a matter, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, members of the public body shall not discuss or take legal action on matters raised during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. So we have a number of cards here tonight. Pursuant upon the item of doing things in a timely manner, we are going to limit each person to 3 minutes or less. And we're limiting it to 10 people. So I will read the names and the first person can come up and address. The first person is Lou Lasaria. Sorry, guys. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
How do I speak into this?
It's live, yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Yesenia Lowe. I'm Cadet Staff Sergeant Lowe. I've been in the program for 3 years. This will be my 4th year. I'm speaking on Major Sherwood and his leaving. The way he left was not just because of his pay, but because the way he was treated. He was supposed to be there for our last color guard, which was on Meet the Teachers Night. And as he was getting prepared to help us get ready for that, he was looking down at the floor the whole time. His face was red. He barely made eye contact with anybody as the cadets. And to see that really frustrates the cadets and makes us sad. Nobody is as committed as Major, and it would mean a lot to bring him back.
You got this, Alexis.
Military personnel come to the Casa Grande High School with a wealth of experience, years of experience with both on the battlefield and in organizational leadership positions. They need to be compensated for this. Cutting their pay, because they get a pay, like you said, is a certain pay. And he, with his experience, cutting it or bringing it lower doesn't make sense because he's not worth that. And with the Jrotc program taking away major has stopped us from doing our color guards and our drill practices, which we need major. And the other day, last week, I've seen major getting yelled at by one of the administrators from our school. But why would you do that in front of other cadets in the hallway at 6 o'clock in the morning? At 7:15 in the morning, why would you be yelling at the teacher who works there in front of other cadets to see that happen? Why is he getting yelled at like this? This is his first year and he sacrificed a lot. He's bought new rifles for us. He painted the Jrotc room. He tells us every day that he loves us. Major cares about everyone and all the cadets and all the teachers. As I arrived to school Monday, after sending that email, a lot of teachers came up to me and told me about how they've been feeling belittled by the principal. I'm sorry, Mr. Matt. And the Jrotc has been helping the community for years. No, without it, there would be no color guards that run the parades, the color guards run parades around, not just in Casa Grande, but around the community and outside of Casa Grande.
Thank you, that's. Thank you, just a reminder for everyone else, please, we're not pointing out specific names during this, as a reminder. Next person is Grace Franks.
I'm Cadet Grace Franks, and this is my second year in the program. I'm speaking on behalf of Jrotc as well as just problems within our schools this year in general. Starting off with being short-staffed and individuals learning at jeopardy. Why are we learning through Teams meetings with teachers from other schools? And as well as those being taken away, why is our librarian in English classes when they can't even do their own specific things that they're supposed to do in the library? Why are they in classes when there should be teachers there? And as well as, why are our doors being locked after we are supposed to have practice in the morning for drill team? It's like a sport. It feels like sports are being taken over drill because sports, doors are open for them, gates are open for them, but when we are there 7 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, to compete against other schools for drill teams, why is the doors being left open for sports, and our instructors getting yelled at for opening them for us? I think that Jrotc is a way to encourage individuals to keep their grades up due to promotions and community service as well, because community service gives to our community and allows for us to give as well as burn from the VFW set. Every year we have 1,000 hours donated and dedicated just for Toys for Tots. Imagine how much more is given for other events besides that. This is affecting the CTE credits as well. Even though we don't see it, there's 170 cadets in the program just at Casa Grande Union, and the fact that if this program goes down, that those cadets are gonna have to be put into other CTE programs, which it's a credit to graduate, it's required. And then those classes are gonna be over full and teachers can't teach and individuals may lose their credits. How? That does not work. And this also goes into the idea of volunteerism, which is a part of our curriculum. We learn about this and it encourages cadets, as well as I said before, to go out into the community and help, which goes into promotions at our school as well, to be promoted in the program, not just ranks, but position-wise. team leader, class leader, like it just instills responsibility and citizenship in the program and in individuals. It feeds on into them as a person later in life. And members of the board, why did the instructors at Vista leave? Why is Gunnery Sergeant Flores resigning at the end of the year? It's because of the pay. They deserve to be treated better and taken more serious, not just seen as a JROTC instructor at a school. This program is more than just a program. I see it as something that kids see as a safe place and should be able to go to them as more than just an instructor at a school. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Savannah Halbert.
I should have something for each member of the board. The statistics in front of you come from the Jrotc Instagram account and are taken from all different LE levels in the program. These questions are asked to show the percentages of participants in the following extracurriculars. Without major, we lose drill and color guards as one instructor can't run 4 extracurriculars. We plan to start including a PT team to promote the health credit Jrotc gives its students. However, without major, we can't run this extracurricular as Getting runs rifle team after school, which promotes the safe handling of loaded firearms. Major has promoted several hours to not only helping the community buy color guards, but also promoting the pride of Casa Grande through countless hours of drill. Not only did Major install countless hours into the program, but the students spent hours and countless years on drill to promote pride, all just for it to be thrown away. Union's district is about the pride of Cougars and Spartans. But how are we supposed to promote this and carry on a lineage when we lose an instructor? We can't. Without an instructor, we are at the risk of losing our program just like Vista. Once we lost Vista, we already started to lose pride in the community. Vista and Union have been working side by side for decades in order to bring Jrotc to the city. As we change administration, the school loses teachers, which makes clubs have a shortage of advisors, and soon Casa Grande will lose its programs that install pride into the city. How much more do we have to lose before we lose our roots? Union's and Vista's roots are buried in opportunities for the students. So why do those in charge continue to take away from its students? We worry about why the students tend to act the way they do, but have we ever stopped to think it might have something to do with those in charge? Administration is so adamant that students attend activities, but where are they when extracurriculars happen?
And next up is Zachary Pike.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Zachary Pike. I'm cadet private first class at Cascade Union High School for the JROTC program. At Cascade Union High School, they lack the safety to provide about the well-being of the students. Students do not feel safe at Union. The reason they do not feel safe is the negligence of the school's administration informing the students about the situations. Yes, Union has procedures for things like school shootings. However, they fail to inform and drill the students on everything that should go on. Last year, students were hopping the fence fearing for their life. Parents crowded the entrances. All this not only blocked the roads for police, fire, and paramedics to ensure the safety of Union. It also caused chaos within the school that could have ended in a deadly event, not only for everybody. It wasn't until after the threat or scare that Union started taking things a little more seriously. Unfortunately, Union doesn't seem to fix the problematic places that endanger the students and staff. Things like the large windows and small walking spaces between the halls and the lack of better security. Those are just a few things the Union can take more seriously to ensure the safety of all personnel on campus. JROTC has promoted safety through the rifle team, which teaches about gun violence and the way to handle firearms. We're also in a safe learning environment when we're in JROTC classrooms. Cadets and even students that are not in the JROTC program are there in the morning, after school, and during lunch. The classroom in JROTC seems to be the only safe place at Union. Thank you.
Next, I would ask Lily Calderon to come.
Hi, Lily Calderon.
am a former cadet of JROTC. I served 1 year, but in that 1 year, I really, really enjoyed my time, and I thought it was an amazing, amazing way to learn and grow. And many people actually find that area in their life a way to get out of high school. High school is not the only place you're going to be. People focus way too hard on high school, and JROTC is an amazing opportunity for students to find ways and better opportunities to excel and seek scholarships as well. My sister, for example, she was a 2-year cadet, and she instead, if she never went to JROTC, she would not be where she is today. She is in the Navy, a linguist, learning Chinese right now, and she would not be in that position without JROTC. It is a great opportunity for people to understand what they're doing, and it's a great way to learn and grow. I honestly feel like that this is a mistake to try and get rid of our drill team, and I think it is a mistake to try to close JROTC. I believe that we need to keep this program up for kids to find a way, because we come from a poor school, and the school doesn't have many opportunities to find and ways to grow. Usually you guys, people around here only find the students who are smart and the students who are good. We need to find opportunities for the students who struggle in school and the students who have a difficult time in school to find ways to climb out of this horrible area of their lives. Thank you.
Next is Albert Alexander Rodriguez.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Albert Rodriguez. I'm a cadet sergeant in the Jrotc program, and as you're probably aware, I'm here to speak about the program itself. The Jrotc program is not only beneficial to the school, but beneficial to the community as a whole. Adding on to that, the program is also very beneficial to the individual. The program has given me memories that I'll come to cherish for many years to come, and has allowed me to grow as a person. And I'm thankful for that. The future of the program is at risk, and this also means that the opportunity for growth and the opportunity to experience set of things is also at risk for others. Well, because our administration can't swallow their pride. So I ask you this: why have a multitude of teachers begun to leave? And why is Vista and now Union starting to lose their instructors as well? Thank you for your time.
Okay, next will be Blake Stone.
Good evening, members of the Casa Grande Union High School District Governing Board, Dr. Superintendent, and members of our community. I'm Cadet First Lieutenant Blake Stone, the commanding officer at Casa Grande Union High School's Junior ROTC program. As you have already know, our beloved instructor, Major Rob Sherwood, has resigned from his position. This is due to the administration at our school failing to do their jobs. The administration has introduced many new policies within our school, such as a policy where simply leaving a door open causes issue and problems within the school. There's also a new grading system that is in place that is completely unjust and unfair for those students who work hard to attain the grade that they strive for. I bring up these policies because they are benefiting factors as to why Major has left. In JRTC, we firmly believe that our room and our program is a safe space for all peoples from all walks of life, no matter where they come from. We understand that the policy has been enacted for the safety of our students, but if it causes such a great problem for one of our beloved instructors to leave, it is a policy that should not be enforced. Along with this, the new grading policy that has been instated is that students can turn in their work completely undone, basically just get it, and then turn it back to the teacher and receive a 40%. This is essentially rewarding kids for doing absolutely no work. And then also another part of that grading structure is that students may do one problem or say 19 out of 20 of the problems on their worksheet and will receive a 50% grade due to the incomplete nature of the work. This has not only caused confusion for our Marine instructor, Gunnery Sergeant Flores, and our senior Marine instructor, Major Rob Sherwood, but it has also caused a great amount of confusion and distress among our teachers at Casa Grande Union High. It has caused over 100 of them to leave our school, which is the first time in the history of our school district this has happened. With these points brought to your attention, I would like to request that there are changes made at our school. First and foremost, I would like for a member of the board or of the administration of Casa Grande Union High School to reach out to Major Sherwood and request for him to come back. I have gotten to learn Thank you. Over this last very short year, I've gotten to learn the type of man he is, and I know that he would be willing to set aside differences with anybody in order to return to a program and to the kids that he loves. Secondly, I would like to ask that there are policies instated that would both support our students, our staff, and our administration in providing a positive learning experience and inspiring excellence. Thank you for your time.
Students up to fill.
Next, we'd like to hear from Erin Swift.
Hello, board members. My name is Erin Swift. I would have been a captain in the Vista Grand Marine Corps Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps. I would have been the commanding officer this year. Had my program of Induction this year. I want to start off with a timeline. April 29th, 2022. Ropeston Ranch hosts our Words Banquet in honor of our cadets who have put in countless hours of their time throughout the academic year. May 27th, 2022. 26 of our cadets are flown to Pensacola, Florida to attend the National Flight Academy, where they learn and experience things that they will carry with them for the rest of their life, that they were meant to bring back into our program. June 24th, 2022. 8 of our upperclassmen cadets go onto campus to help prepare the classroom for the upcoming year and make plans for what we are to do as staff members. July 3rd, 2022. 3 of our most dedicated color guard freshmen, rising sophomores, are flown to San Antonio, Texas to attend Nationals Drill Camp in Kerrville, Texas at Shriner University, where they were brought to refine their skills so that they could bring back the knowledge that they have learned to take over our color guard drill teams. July 15th, 2022. A letter was sent out to all of the parents and students and staff of Vista Grande High School stating that we will no longer have a Jrotc program because both of our instructors have resigned, causing an uproar, heartbreak everywhere. I was getting texts and calls every 30 minutes from different cadets asking me if I knew what was going on. Our instructors put in countless hours. They were there every day in, day out, weekends, breaks. They were there all the time. And they felt like they had to resign. On a more personal side of the story, I went into high school as a freshman, not knowing what I was up for or where I was going or even who I was. I joined the program and found myself. I found a place where I felt like I belonged. I found people who felt like family. I was a mentee for many upperclassmen, and as I grew up and became an upperclassman, I became a mentor for the underclassmen and made friends with people that I still consider some of my best friends to this day. We are a family. We are a home. We are an escape for people who don't know what they're doing or don't know where they're going or don't know where to turn. Every day, my instructors would tell me that I felt like one of their kids. So please, if nothing else from this, hear us, understand where we come from. We are all very dedicated to this program. Some of us have given more hours than we can count. Treat our program like the home it is. Thank you.
Next is Alexis Alvarez and BB.
Hi, my name is Alexis Alvarez, and this is my third year in Jrotc. I am currently the executive officer of it, and let me get started today by just saying, many students love coming to school for many reasons, okay? Whether it be friends, the sports, the lunch, the specific classes, but this one thing is repeated constantly. Teachers. Most students do not even have parents at home. Someone who cares, someone who helps with homework, and someone who pressures you to do something when you feel like it's wrong. The Jrotc program creates an environment where you feel like you can be family with people. And if something happens to family, you're immediately concerned. This year, we barely have any teachers left to teach me and my fellow peers. If we barely have any teachers, please answer me this. Why are you driving the teachers that we want to stay away? Who help us, who teach us, who care for us, who make us happy, and who makes us want to come to school. While I'm at this program, this program makes me feel at home. Not just because it's influential, but it's fun. But rather, who makes it fun? Major Sherwood has made this program succeed while I have been in it, along with Gunny. They both have made it abundantly clear that over the past year that this program is not a boot camp. It is a place where we learn discipline, courage, respect, citizenship, and volunteerism. We are a family. We all have felt, not once, if it was strictly a teacher or a student bond. I've watched on multiple occasions where they had made other cadets feel like family as well, where they taught young men to shave, taught ladies how to do their hair, and made everyone feel accepted along with having a purpose to wake up every morning. With the toxicity of this school, they made this amazing
want to go away. This just doesn't mean nothing. This affects the community, the students, and the Jrotc program. We're the only program left in town. The people who are keeping this program running and intact are going to be leaving for how they are treated. Our school promotes zero tolerance for bullying and harassment, and yet the staff make teachers insecure and question if they should even stay. I didn't know that a school environment could be this toxic. A school should be an environment where everyone is comfortable and welcomed, not where a student feels confused and targeted as she is walking down the hallway from the bathroom. Not where a teacher should be insecure of how they work, and definitely not where a teacher tells a student how depressing and how mean it is to work here. Mental health should be a consideration for all teachers and retired Marines such as Major Sherwood and Gunny. Mental health is as important to teachers as it is students. We need a lot to be fixed for the betterment of union, and unfortunately, this has been brought up to your attention, and therefore we are respectfully delegating this situation to be resolved.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of our district board and our community. I thank you all for coming and supporting our Jrotc program and for the board for hearing us out. I am Cadet Staff Sergeant Phoebe Cheatham. I am now a third year at Casa Grande Union High School Jrotc. I came into high school not knowing who I was, insecure about everything I did. Jrotc was the safest place and most comfortable for me. And not just me, but every cadet in our program was welcome and told they were cared. People walking into school are told that high school is supposed to be the greatest time of our life, and right now it feels like the most miserable because teachers we love, teachers who inspire us to keep going, teachers who are like family are being driven away due to improper communication and treatment. And I ask you today how you would feel if your family was torn apart due to people not being able to put their pride aside to keep a family together. Yeah. Major Sherwood was not only an instructor, but a father figure to many. He was very understanding and welcoming. For teenagers, this is a time for us to figure out who we are. We are constantly confused on everything, our sexuality, our pronouns, where we belong, what we want to do when we're older. And Major Sherwood and Gunnery Sergeant Flores are there for us every step of the way. They make it very known that we belong and that they are welcoming us to this home. Not only is Major Sherwood leaving disappointing, but it is a humongous impact on the program and our community. We do so much for the community, so much to bring everyone together, and we represent not only the Marine Corps, but our school. And it is impossible to do that with only one instructor. We are losing so much, and not much is being done about it. Our instructor gave time for pride to be put aside and for him to have an apology, and it was not done. So I ask you here today, why are our teachers leaving? Why is nothing being done about it? Yeah. Please think on that. We want a response. We need answers as students and as teachers. Thank you.
Okay, we have two more, and then we're gonna be call those 10 minutes. So next is Justin Scotts.
Good evening, board and parents and cadets behind me. I'm Justin Scotts. I'm a Lance Corporal, and I'm a second year in the Jrotc at CGU, or Casa Grande Union. The first year, last year, I got here, I didn't know what I was doing, and I got here and I'm like, I want to do Jrotc. It sounded really fun. I always wanted to do the military, so I got into it. And they just switched up to instructors. We had new instructors. Gunny came from Vista. We had Major who came in, new instructor, brand new. I'm like, all right, clean slate. Sounds fun. I get in there and I enjoyed every second of it. I worked my butt off. I went to drill and I enjoyed it. It was the best feeling I had. I felt like I accomplished something. And it led me to go over to a summer camp. So I went to XMC this summer. I went to a military challenge. And I pushed myself, and I felt like because of what Major and what Gunny taught me, that I would be able to do more. So this isn't just about the JRDC. I mean, it's a big part about it, and I think it should be addressed properly, which it has. But it's about the entire school as a whole. I mean, Casa Grande Union High School, I had a ton of teachers last year, and they were all very qualified. They're all qualified now, but I have, for honors geometry, I have a softball coach who's teaching. For science, I haven't even met my science teacher. I've had subs all week. I haven't even met him. For history, my history teacher just quit. We have a new teacher there. She was only there for maybe 3 days. What I'm saying is, last year we had all these teachers. What happened to all these teachers? Why do we have a bunch of subs? Why is Brad teaching? Why is Brad subbing? Why is the librarian subbing? Those aren't their jobs. That's not what they signed up for. I mean, why is it falling apart now? What is that reason? Thank you.
Okay, the final person is Kimberly Clary.
I guess I'm not the only parent speaking tonight, so I hope
Thank
you hear my
you.
voice.
My name is Kimberly Claridge. I have a daughter who started Casa Grande Union as a freshman this year.
I know that there have been significant challenges
At the start of this school year, and I want to first thank you for taking time to address my concerns about my daughter's schedule and lack of communication the first week of school. Secondly, there are numerous parents and guardians who are unsure or lack the resources to have their voices heard. Please take my comments into consideration as not just one parent, but as a concerned voice of many. It is with significant disappointment that I relay my next comments. I believe that there is a lack of transparency and accountability being demonstrated by the superintendent and her leadership team.
Yes.
Here we are. Here we are in the 4th week of school, not the 2nd, with overcrowded classrooms without credentialed teachers, increased attrition, and positions not being filled, telephone issues where you can't reach anyone. And the only communications that I have received from the superintendent have been motivational and inspirational quotes. There has been no public acknowledgement of the issues until this meeting this evening, or at the site council that Mr. Ahmad had last night. But again, it was not a huge public turnout. I'm not interested in receiving these things. It's not an action plan or a proof of thorough root cause analysis or a call for support. While I've had some discussions with Principal Matt, I am disappointed that these issues have not been broadly shared or addressed with the greater population of parents and guardians. Transparency with a clear action plan would set many of us at ease. Timelines and checkpoints give insights to progress. I would like to see less talking and more action. Great leaders do not have all the answers. They have questions to ask, and they ask for support. With that, I offer my support. Please let me know what I can do to better support this district. Mr. Matt has a site council, and I think that's a great first step, but it's a small step. Additionally, I believe there needs to be further action for Dr. Matto on the board. Let me ask you to ponder these questions. What else is needed to ensure that all students in the district have the tools and resources they need to be successful? How can the community provide support? Are we, as the district, clearly demonstrating our core values to our students? We say inspire and excellence, and I have seen nothing but mediocrity, and I'm truly disappointed. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, everybody, for speaking, and thank you, everyone, for being here tonight on this matter. I really
Excuse me.
appreciate it.
My name is Hugh Byrne. I'm commander of the VFW. I'd like to address the board. Thank you for the time. name is Hugh Byrne. I'm commander of the Veteran Forward Morse Post 1677 here in Casa Grande. I have been talking with Dr. Battle. I've been talking with several other administrators and with the instructors. The picture that is being painted here is not on the instructors. It's everybody involved. Everybody needs to share and own what they have done right and what they have done wrong. The problem started back in January, and here we are 8 months later, and we brought it to a head. But where do we go from here? We can point the finger and we can ask for the return of the instructors. That's probably not going to happen. What we need to do is have a cognizant, controlled plan on what we're going to do from today, tonight on. Something that can be brought to the parents, something that can be published on. These are the things, these are the steps our district is going to do to correct the actions of the past, to bring our students to the future. If we don't protect our students now, okay, they're going to be vulnerable in the future. Our JROTC program ensures that our students are not on the street corner after class. They ensure that their behavior is kept within the school. They are ensured that their grades are kept at a high standard. These are the things that our JROTC program does for our students. We, as the adults in this room, need to listen to the 9 other students that walked up here and advocated for their own program. We need to make sure that their program exists for the very future, and we need to do it now. We need to use all our resources. We need to be in contact with our school board, our superintendent, on what we can do to help. We should be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. One of the people stated transparency. We need transparency on this problem. Not every leader is successful in what they do, but they need to take ownership of their failures. Once you take ownership of your failures, you can move on to become successful in future endeavors. Ownership is a very difficult part of being a leader, but it is a integral part of being a good leader. So school board, superintendent, own it. Own the problem. Let's move on. The VFW and the Marine Corps League are both here because we want to help. We want to help the situation. We don't want to promote the divisive situation that is occurring currently in the administration. We want to help solve the problem. I implore you to reach out to us. And anything that we can do to help, we will be more than willing to do. In closing, our veterans in our community is a very huge base here in Casa Grande. We believe in our country. We believe in our students. We will help. All you have to do is ask. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And also, I want to thank each and every one of you. I know everyone was not able to communicate tonight, but your voice has been heard. You listened attentively. We'll work within our leadership as well as site staff and incorporate strategies for transparency now, as well as providing support in the classroom, outside the classroom, and recognizing myriad of comments that you shared here this evening. So we do appreciate that. And I want you to know that your voice has been heard, and we thank you. Thank you. My question.
She's going to do that. Okay, we're going to move on to item number 5 on the agenda, which is the matter reserved for board action. You're all welcome to stay here for this. You don't have to stay here for this.
Working on bearing.
Oh, I did. I recognized I put two and two together. I said, I'm not sure what's going on, but
Next question. You got any but I can, how do you avoid house?
what's your other difference?
Yeah. How do you avoid that? I actually listened to what he's doing in 6 days. So someone
So we're going to continue with our agenda. Item number 5. We have one comment on these cooling towers.
really is. You guys do a great job. Stay dedicated.
Members of the board, this is an item that for about 2 months back. Essentially, Ralph Belloc, Mr. Belloc, Operations Department, had noticed deterioration of cooling towers at Mr. Brandy High School installed 15 years ago. This is the first phase of the RFP. After we awarded the RFP, the SFO school facility to improve the RFP as well. So the government board in Casa Grande approves, the SFO approves, and what we need to know ultimately is this is going to bring in approximately $482,000 of state money, non-district money, state general fund money to replace the cooling towers at Vista Grande that are currently approaching failure. I want to compliment Mr. Belloc and his team. Dr. Battle last year was on top of this issue, filed for the BRG grant, worked for with the SFOB, and it's exciting to see us move in to design phase. So the first phase is analysis of what the problem is. The second phase is design. It's exciting to move into construction phase. So first step, governing board approval. Second step, SFOB approval. Then we'll issue a PO. This is fair and reasonable bid by Centerline, and this was an IFB, actually, an application for bid. So it's awarded on lowest bid circumstances, and then we had a review by a third party ensuring that Centerline could do the work at the price they proposed.
I make a motion, we approve the award for RFP 2022-03 to Centerline Mechanical.
That's right.
I second.
Okay, there's seconds? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion?
I have a question. Dr. Strong. You mentioned the state is gonna kick in, I believe, $400,000. What's the total cost of this project?
$482,000. So they're picking up the complete tank, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else, please?
Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
And Mrs. Harrington?
Yes. Moving down to item E, fiscal year 23 capital plan.
This is Harrington, members of the board. Annually, every school district in the state of Arizona has to submit a capital plan to the school's facility board. This capital plan details the demography of the district and the projections of the district for the next 10 years in terms of enrollment. The importance of this capital plan is that if you do not submit this capital plan, you will not qualify for your school's construction money. Casa Grande Union High School District currently according to the State Schools Facility Board, has space for about 4,700 kids. As of current enrollment numbers, we're approaching 4,300 kids with growth on the horizon for the next 10 to 20 years in the city of Casa Grande. As a result, it is very important this district annually submits their capital plan because they support new school construction, whether that's addition to current schools or actually building another school. So we want to get in the habit annually of submitting our capital plan up to the schools facility board. We did a cohort retention analysis on this data, examined the last 10 years of cohort retention, as well as an incoming 8th grade capture rate amongst our elementary feeders when we did this analysis. And we need your approval to submit this to the schools facility board so that they can then approve it their September 1st meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Kemp. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I will move to approve the award of fiscal year 23 capital plan and submit to the school facilities board.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington,
Yes. Okay, moving on to item C, cell tower site plan application and pad zoning preliminary application.
Mrs. Harrington, members of the board, this is a little different than what I'm used to. I want to be frank on this. This is a cell tower application. And cell towers are really common throughout the state of Arizona at high school facilities. And they generate between $1,200 to $2,000 per month of incoming revenue into our school plant fund, Fund 500. The unique part about this is typically we don't bring zoning and pad applications to the school governing board. And the reason we typically don't do that is because school districts, their own political subdivision, and we don't have any zoning laws in the state of Arizona. However, what I have learned is in the city of Casa Grande, we play really nicely with the zoning and pad committee in the city of Casa Grande. So this is not the final lease. I want to be clear with this, not the final lease, but this is an application to apply to zoning and pad committees at the city of Casa Grande for a cell tower at Vista Grande High School. Then it'll go through zoning and pad, and then it'll come back to us and we'll finalize a lease. That lease is what we typically will bring to a governing board. So this is just an approval to sign forms so that the cell tower company can start the process with zoning and pad at the city of Casa Grande.
We did this 3 or 4 years ago for this last cell tower that we put at Union, right on there on Pepper Road. Similar process, same kind of thing. So you are correct about school sites are one of their own, but city of Casa Grande likes to flex their muscle a little bit.
Correct. I'm just mentioning that because it just shows the cooperation between the school district and the city of Casa Grande.
Very good. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the cell tower site plan application and PAD zoning preliminary application.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
Mrs. Harrington,
Yes. Sorry, I'm not used to writing these things. Item D, the Grand Canyon University Student Teaching Affiliation Agreement.
Member Harrington, members of the board, this is just a simple student teaching agreement. We're trying to get into as many student teaching opportunities with local universities in hopes that we can get student teachers on our campuses and then we can convert them immediately to Casa Grande Union teachers.
Do we have a motion?
Yeah, I'll move to approve the fiscal year 23 student teaching affiliation agreement with Grand Canyon University.
Motion. Do we have a second?
Second. I'm sorry.
I was daydreaming.
I was daydreaming.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mrs. Harrington.
Yes. Moving down to item letter E, sorry, Stanfield Transportation Agreement.
Member Harrington, members of the board, a few weeks back in early July, Dr. Battle was contacted by the superintendent of Stanfield Elementary School District asking for support in document services. This agreement was stood up via Dr. Battle's request through Mrs. Salazar's office and the business office. She did a great job working with Stanfield Elementary on this, and essentially we're going to allow their students to participate in a stop that's already there. And in return, Stanfield will be reimbursing us for a portion of the cost. And to ensure student safety, Stanfield will be placing a bus attendant on that bus. We already are running the route. It's just one more little quick detour of Stanfield Elementary. I recommend approval.
That should make a quarterly payment to Durham, shouldn't it?
It'll take a small portion of the next year.
I make a motion that we approve the winter athletic sports stipends to Stanfield. No?
No, it's, transportation agreement with Stanfield.
Oh, yeah?
But it's not.
Yeah, you're just.
Oh, Stanfield.
Yeah.
Move to approve transportation agreement with Stanfield Elementary for fiscal year 23. Can I do the other one too?
Do we have a second?
I was second.
Mr. Lopez, second. Any comments? Mary, please call.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mrs. Harrington.
Yes. Okay, now we're on the winter athletic stipends.
Member Harrington, members of the board, this is just our next effort in trying to consolidate everything to a single stipend schedule. We've picked through winter athletic stipends, and these are the winter athletic stipends that we're recommending for approval. These are in alignment with prior year stipends, and we're just trying to codify things on a single stipend schedule.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion that we approve the winter athletics stipend as presented.
I will second.
Any discussion? If not, Mary, please vote.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Kirby,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mrs. Harrington.
Yes. Now we are down to item G, which is donations, and we do have a public comment on this, so I would like to ask Ms. Anna Chalmers to come up, please.
Governing board members, Superintendent Dr. Battle. My name is Anna Chalmers. I'm a community member of the Tempe Union High School District, a community site council member of Corona del Sol, treasurer of the Arizona Basset and Bloodhound Rescue, and the personal representative for the estate of the late Miss Patricia May Nitham. I'm here tonight as Miss Nitham's personal representative, who passed a few years ago here in Casa Grande and was found with her Basset Hound. She left her entire estate to 2 rescues, one of them being the Arizona Basset Hound Rescue, and requested that the Arizona Basset Hound Rescue be her personal representative with the courts. So that fell on me. The last asset her estate for me to dispose of was her personal car, 1999 Honda Accord, which has not been driven in 3 years. I looked at several charities to donate this car to, and then I thought about the old proverb: give someone a fish and you feed them for a day. Teach someone to fish, you feed them for a lifetime. I'm not a product of public school. I went to boarding school my entire life. They did not offer automotive classes. I built my first engine, 1974 454 Corvette, 40 years ago. And I learned a lot. This community in the district supports your CTE programs, and particularly the automotive technology program. Certainly aided my decision that your superintendent, Dr. Anna Battle, is a longtime friend. I have known her since she was a principal, about 14 years. So without further ado, Chris and I went and looked at the car earlier today. So this is just kind of a token. Without further ado, I'd like to present the title and my documents from the court to Casa Grande High School Union District. And Chris symbolically doesn't run. In closing, I would like to thank the following companies that discounted their services to make this happen once I told them what I was doing with the car. Copper Mountain Self-Storage, which is where the car sits right now, and Night Towing of Casa Grande that will be delivering the car to the school as soon as Chris is ready for it. Should you need 4 new tires, and we looked at him and he does, I personally will be donating them to the school for that car. So you'll see my name one more time in the very near future on your donations. I thank you personally for your efforts. I know I've attended Tempe Union High School governing board meetings for 14 straight years and have only missed 5. So I know how tough this is, but I appreciate what you're doing for your students, your staff, and your community. And I hope you guys have fun with the car. Thank you.
Thank you. That's me. Very cool. Wow, can't top that, but we do have some other things to celebrate as far as donations go. That's right, would you like to read the donation?
The what?
The donation.
Read the rest of it. In addition to the 1999 Honda, we also received $400 from an anonymous donor for Vista Grande Cross Country. We're receiving pallets of tools and supplies valued at approximately $800 and a zero-turn lawnmower valued at $3,500 from Tractor Supply to CGS Skills USA. We're also receiving $400 from the Mashers to the Vista Grande Spirit Line and $1,600 from an anonymous donor for Vista Grande Baseball Club.
Is that your motion?
That's my motion.
And he's sticking to it.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
These are great donations. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Mary, please vote, please.
Okay, Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
And Mrs. Harrington?
Yes. All right, that brings us down to item 6, which is our consent agenda. Does anyone have anything they want to?
I would move that we approve items A through F. But I have a personal comment to make about the personnel before we move forward. The personnel agenda tonight is pretty lengthy. It again has many resignations on it, 8 to be exact, and 3 or 4 individuals that declined the contract. The 8 resignations bring the total resignation in a 12-month period for Casablanca Union High School District to 131, including the 22, I believe, from the J1 teachers that have left us. As a comparison, over the last 4 years prior, we had an average of 36 resignations per year during that time. I think we've got a serious problem in this district with how we're managing our personnel, and we need to take a serious look at it to see if we can get our arms around it. With that said, call for the vote.
No, I need a second.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. Mary, can you vote, please?
Okay, Mr. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Kirby?
Yes.
Mr. Wright?
Yes.
And Mrs. Harrington?
Yes. All right, I believe that concludes our.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night, Kirby. Good night, Taylor. I've been saying Kirby all night.